Hey everybody, watch me open here. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to your weekly dose of Marvel card box breaking. I have a special treat tonight. I'm here with a fellow collector. This is Matt I always do this. My orientation. It's seriously, it's. I'm surprised I don't get blasted in the comments for doing it every time. Um, so Matt happens to be a avid collector of the set we're going to be opening tonight. I've never opened it before. It's X Men Archives from 2009. It's a Rittenhouse set, and so Matt, I mean, tell us just something about this. The basics about the set for someone who's opened a lot of it.
Yeah, the set itself was actually pretty standard. There wasn't a lot of flash in it. No PMGs, nothing that's driving people crazy chasing these days. You had your standard base set. You had a couple parallel chases that were anywhere from one to every, say two per box or a three per box. The rarest one, as I recall, was one per box, legendary heroes. And then that was the same break rate as, of course, the big hit in the box, which was the sketch cards, where you were guaranteed one per box, and which is what ultimately attracted me to the set.
Right, and so I feel like I have to bring it up. You have a current, I don't know. Some people might call it an obsession, but it's an effort you're undertaking to collect 1,000 sketches from this set.
Yep. Yeah, it's I don't know. Well, actually, I do know where I got it. Years ago, I met another collector online, and some of the older collectors will know him from his eBay name, which is Kerryman. And he was, for years and years, the bane of people on eBay because he was buying up all sorts of cards left and right. He was big into Lord of the Rings. He's been big into Marvel. And when I finally tracked him down, he had talked about his goal, which was to own 10% of a few sets. At the time, it was all the Lord of the Rings sketches and a few Marvel sets. And for years, I basically said, this guy's nuts. And then all of a sudden, one day, I was like, you know what? I might actually have a shot at this for this particular set. And the obsession was born.
Yeah. And so, like you said, 10%, something that if people don't know, that they will know, they only were 10,000 of these boxes. And that seems, from my experience, typical for Rittenhouse.
Yeah, that was actually one of the higher ones. That were some that were closer to 8,000, I believe, but they were always sort of in that range. Yep.
Right. So, and to still see them means that they were under collected for that,
Yeah.
for there being that many.
Yeah.
If there was a 10,000 box set that was released today, in 6 to 8 months' time, it would be gone.
Oh, if that, yeah. I'm sure Spider-Man on e-packs will be lucky to last 3 days, I bet.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it was a pretty standard set. I was looking at it. It doesn't have your flashy parallels like your diamonds or your rubies, like you will see from the 75th or the Marvel Universe 2014. But it does have that box hit of that insert. It's got like a foil to it, right?
So some of them do, yeah. Some of the parallels do, but the base cards are pretty standard. But
Yeah, no, that one per box insert set.
Yes, yep,
Yeah.
Yeah. The Legendary Heroes one, yes.
Right, legendary. And then there's the sketches, which there are some incredible sketches. It seems like we've almost, you could say we've taken a step back, it feels like, in sketches. And I look, and I'm going to say it right now, I think if that has taken place, it has nothing to do with the artists, but it has to do with the demands being put on them.
Absolutely. Yep. When a lot of these artists are asked to do massive quantities of cards, that certainly existed back at this time. When you look at this set, there are plenty of artists who did north of 200, some north of 300, like Brian Kong, Marcelo Ferrara. They were there, but the difference was it wasn't like Upper Deck where not only did you get that, but 2 weeks later, you had another set where you had to do 300, and then another where they're just constantly churning it out and asking these artists to keep doing those numbers. There was a much bigger gap back in the Rittenhouse days in terms of how many of these sets were produced each year. So,
Right.
I think a little easier. And yeah.
So, in terms of the artists on this set, what are some names that people that maybe aren't as familiar with sketch cards and sketch card artists as you might recognize?
I mean, these days, and when you think in terms of some of the names who really get the attention of people, you've got Tony Perna, obviously big in the group. You get Cat Staggs, Rhiannon, who's really big. One of the ones who unfortunately doesn't do sketch cards, but was really big in the Rittenhouse days, was Warren Martinek, who did a lot of both pack bolds, but also did a lot of incentive cards for a lot of these sets. So he was a big one. And then you've got a lot of the workhorses. You got guys like Brian Kong. You've got Ben Glendenning, one of my favorites from the set, with a very unique style. And some who've been around for years. I mean, Buddy Prince is Buddy still doing them? Maybe not. But Rich Molinelli, as an example, he has been around now for 15 years doing sketch cards, at least, maybe a little bit more. Kristen Allen, Louis Antonio. So some amazing names. Jeff Allender's checklist site, always great just to sort of see who's out there. I'd point you to the Rittenhouse Sci-Fi Hobby site, but they always seem to be down for some reason. So Jeff's checklist is really the way to go.
Yeah. So
link to that checklist, because he has counts.
Link to that checklist will be in the description. And so it's a 72 card base set. There's 3 different inserts apart from the sketches. There's Nemesis, which are 1 in 8. The Ready for Action cover gallery cards, which are 1 in 12. And the Legendary Heroes you mentioned are 1 in 24, which is a box. And then the sketches are also 1 in 24. So interesting for people who don't know, because a lot of people that are new to Marvel cards are watching the channel. If you see these boxes on eBay, it's common for them to be sold unsealed, open boxes with the complete amount of packs, but the sketch has already been removed. So that's always something good to look out for, because, like we said, that is the main hit of this box, and they list it. They're not being duplicitous, but it's just something caveat emptor, to make sure you're aware of.
Right. And if you're just looking for packs to open, like with your kids, that's sometimes a fantastic value, because you can get 24 packs for $1 or $2 a pack, as opposed to, I'm sure this box costs you a little bit more than $1 or $2 a pack. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, so about that box, there it is.
Woohoo. That's a thing of beauty.
So I will. Now you have the privilege. This is the first time that I'm using this new setup to open cards. So it's exciting. I have a different kind of camera mount, so I don't have to worry about hitting it or it being at the right height or wrong, lighting and everything. And it's just trying to make it a more enjoyable experience.
I love that when you switched over to it, immediately put the other camera down in the corner so we can sort of get the action shot there. As you're
right. So it's actually, I have 3 cameras now. It's insane. So we were talking about them being numbered out of 10,000. This is box 8,388. Now, for comparison to the 90s, this was 350,000.
Good Lord.
And so I don't want to, I'm not trying to drag it out, but I mean, like, you could see some examples of the sketches on the box here. That's like incredible. Like, it's really.
And you could actually pull one of those sketches, right? Those are pack inserted sketches.
Yeah.
I know, because the one you're showing right now on the left, I own.
Oh, that Magneto.
Roll it back, the Psylocke.
And that Juggernaut.
No, go back one. It's the Megan, not the Megan, the Jen Mercer, the one on the left there, the Psylocke. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
And in theory on these, now I don't know how many. I want to say probably maybe 20, maybe 25. There were hot boxes that they would
really,
give, and you would get multiple. Basically, it was like a mini archive box, and you would get, I want to say 4 to 6 sketches instead of just one.
what?
Yeah.
So explain to someone what an archive box is, because I know a little bit, but
Yep.
someone who doesn't know Rittenhouse doesn't know it all for sure.
Yep. So Rittenhouse would essentially have, I want to say 50 boxes that they would flag as archive boxes. And the idea there is you would get all of the big hits in these. And these were typically incentives for dealers. So for every, say, 25 cases you ordered from Rittenhouse, you'd get an archive box. So for these
And that
particular,
box was marked differently.
yes, yep. Typically it was actually in 2 pieces in a lot of cases. There'd be an A and a B. One would have the parallel sets, if there were some, and one would have the sketches. I believe the X-Men one was only a single box, though, and you would get 20, either 20 or 30, honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head, sketches in that. Every pack would essentially have a sketch.
Are any of these archive boxes still available?
No, well, if they were, I binged quite a few. I want to say in 2016, I probably picked up about 30 across sets, and at the time they were pretty expensive. I can only imagine now they'd easily be in 4 figures now.
So you are the resident mutant specialist. Who are we looking at here?
So that's Mirage, aka Danny Moonstar, my character. Oh, you gotta put me on the spot here, huh? Oh my God, who's that? Starjammers, maybe? Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like Proteus.
Oh man. Now this wasn't original art, right?
Yes, it was. So actually, and what's nice about these is if you look on the back, it tells you everything. It tells who did the art.
Oh man.
Yeah. So these.
Oh, that was Caliban, not Proteus.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. Those yellow eyes. I'm used to goofy Caliban who married Kitty.
Alina Urasov. And then this is the legendary card, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's a beautiful one.
Wow.
Yeah, when you look at some of the foiling back then, it's so simple, but just looks so good, you know. So that's the which one is that? That's the one in 12. I think that's the
okay. Wow. So there's 2 of these in this box.
Yep.
The foiling is great. And then the last card in the pack. This is the checklist.
Yeah, it's a great team shot.
Yeah, it is a great team shot. Oh man, 24 of these packs. This is fun. I love opening a set for the first time.
Yeah, you can't really replicate that. I mean, admittedly, when I opened so many cases, and towards the end, you know, especially when you're just sketch hunting, I'm just so jaded when I open it.
Yeah,
I open them backwards, and I'm literally just looking, flip through them, no sketch, next pack, no sketch. So it's great to see someone actually appreciating it.
Yeah, and an interesting morph. Like these are different takes on the characters that I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen morph with a cape.
Sunfire, maybe the AOA version. Nice.
And then
Dust,
right? Yeah, the cloud of dust in the background kind of gave it away. And Iceman.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting take on Bobby Drake, isn't it?
So it also said that with perfect collation, you'll get a set and a half of base cards. So pretty much guaranteed a set.
Yeah, and again, another great, fact if you're just collecting for fun.
Wow, what a cool Dazzler.
That is nice.
So the price of the Dazzler first appearance comic book shot up over the summer, all because of a casting rumor for Ant-Man 3 where they were looking for a female who could sing and dance.
Which is
That's
funny because they've already had a debut of Dazzler, right?
not in the MCU though.
In Fox, right? Yeah, exactly. In the Fox version, in which one was it? I can't remember if it was Last Stand or. Which
Yeah.
It's sad that she was the highlight of the movie and she was only seen
Yeah.
for 30 seconds at a party.
Man, great looking cards.
Nice North Star.
North Star. I'm so nervous about this sketch. So, you know, I'll air our dirty laundry. Matt has some sketches that I want, and I'm hoping to lure them away from him with a nice sketch here. Oh man!
Wow, just great angle on that sword too. Look at that.
Okay, this seems like an insert. This is N2. So that's going to be the out of 8, right?
Yes.
And production on the cards, I feel like it always comes up now. You know, you get a couple bad sets with some jacked up cards, and people start paying a lot more attention to production.
Yep.
And the cards are very well made.
Yeah, Rittenhouse always did really well in terms of overall quality. No question there. Little Magic Stark Throne.
So I apologize if anybody's struggling watching me go so slow, but like I said, it's the first time I've seen this art.
Oh, nice.
And
Siren, maybe?
You all can just hit the fast forward button if you like, but I'm trying to enjoy this. Interesting angel. I like that they're unique takes on the characters. And then here's another one of those. Like we got the Magneto. This is the Juggernaut.
Yeah. As I'm thinking about it, we can put it in your comments after. It's worth at least looking into to see if these are cribbed from somewhere else and they're just giving the credit to these artists, or if they were done for the set. To be honest,
yeah,
being my favorite set for sketches, I don't know the answer to that. Nice armor.
Yeah.
And in fact, is that the art they used in Metal? That looks very familiar.
I don't think so.
I guess there's only so many ways you can portray her with a red armor.
Right. Oh, what a great domino.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and this camera, they do come in very sharp. Oh, I think this feels thick. Nice. Little stepbrother action.
Pixie. Good old Braddock. Oh.
I am. There's
maybe Hope.
Yeah.
Unless he's got some other random baby, I suppose.
And then is that Wallflower?
Yeah, they definitely, like X Men Metal, went deep on some of the characters.
Yeah, and the background, the back of the card, it's clean, no fluff. They didn't try to make up a bunch of stats, which is cool. It's fun. It's campy when they do that. The power levels and all that, but it seems like they're focused on the art. They don't want to distract you from that. Even with the brand being very small on the.
Looks like Omega Sentinel.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That one's that Alan Davis art.
Yeah.
Nice. Those faces are just so
they're cool.
Nice. There's something you don't see these days, right? Because you're not allowed to have the gun pointing at the viewer.
Yeah. And this is M.
M. Monet, Oliver pennants.
Speaking of don't see these days,
Yeah.
our band friend Nightcrawler.
Anticipation grows with every pack.
Oh my gosh. And there's X Men? Multiple Man. Huh. Ooh, Storm.
Great effects on that.
David Yarden.
Rock Slide. Icarus, maybe? Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
Wow. And you got reflections in the claws. 3 different reflections. So if you can make it out, there's a Sentinel in the right claw, Magneto in the middle claw. I can't make out the third. It's Phoenix.
Nice.
Wow. That's very cool. And anticipation. So who's the least collected artist you have of this set?
The least collected?
Yeah, like one that you're like, I could definitely use more of them.
I mean, some of the rare ones, certainly. Like, I've always been a big Dave Fox fan, but he did under 20. So
That's what's in here.
He is not easy to find. Jim Kyle is actually probably the artist from the set I might have the most from. He did, how many did Jim do? He probably did like 150 maybe, but he did just a whole bunch of really amazing portraits. I've got a good chunk of his output.
Hello, Phoenix.
Nice, very nice. And there were a lot of artists too that did work back at this time, and then they just stopped.
Now that the Zorn seems like recycled art.
Yeah, that does look familiar.
Kuan Yin Zorn. So is that?
Well, there's two. Yeah, he's got a brother as well. I can't remember what they call him, but he has the same last name, Mercury.
Yeah, and Rogue.
In terms of sketches, there are guys that were back there, like a guy who went by the name Oak. He did some really great stuff back then. I think one of the biggest hits you could get was Dave Simons, who's a comic book guy. He did a lot of work for Rittenhouse and put out some really good cards, especially in the archive sets. His Fantastic Four archives cards were just
Kitty. And nice. Bishop. Oh, and then there's that. This is the box hit, right?
There we go. It certainly looks like it because he's not a nemesis and it's not a cover.
Yeah. So that is Cyclops.
Great effect.
And I did a quick look. These inserts are still affordable.
Yeah, I don't think the older non-numbered stuff have really caught on with people yet. They're still looking for that sort of proof of rarity, I think, in some cases.
Right. Well, even the newer stuff where we know, like MM20 Tier 4 Gold, still being undervalued. Okay, so we've got 2 of our 3 out of 8s. We got our 1 out of 24. We got 1 of our out of 12s.
Nice little surge.
Emma.
Can't go wrong with Emma.
And, Shatterstar. Got me. Jubilee, wow. My, how you've grown.
Yeah, right. I'm sort of wondering if she has teeth there. Maybe it's
the man. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at the background too on it. Brandon Peterson. We are at the halfway point and still no sketch. So I'm going to say it's not a hot box unless there's 6 in these last 12 packs. So now we're starting to hit our doubles here. Oh, wow. What a
Apocalypse.
great villain to have. I am a partial to villains, as everyone here knows. And so that is N6. So we got Magneto, Juggernaut, and Apocalypse. 3 great ones. Another Domino. And then Old Nate. I feel like a rubber band just keeps twisting around. Whoa.
On the cover? Wow.
Wow.
That looks great with the black around it, too.
Oh, my gosh.
It is bizarre. And this isn't meant as a dig at UD, but just technology has gotten so much better over the last 12 years. But somehow these cards just seem superior in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Although I tell you what really blew me out of the water is the White Schwartz set. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
The effects on
Absolutely.
those.
And what's cool about those is the parallels, like the different rarities, they're parallels, but it's different art. Because if you look at the numbering of the set, it's the same number as the common version. Okay.
We've seen some of these before.
Yeah.
That's the problem when you get to the back end.
I don't know what the sketch card box feels like, so it's suspenseful every time I reveal a card.
You could also cheat by quickly fanning them on the backside and seeing if you see the white, because the back of it looks like that. So you could see that on one of the corners and know it's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Blink.
Seems like there are a bunch of new characters, though. Some you didn't have.
Yeah. Karma. Shola Nkosi. Can't say I'm familiar.
I just wonder if that's just ink.
Whew. Cannonball. Nice Colossus. I think that's the first time we got that one. And Prodigy. Oh my gosh. Down to 6 packs.
I just made a note over here. I need to make sure I've got Shola Nkose on my mutant checklist because he did not jump out as someone I'm familiar with. I'm like, oh no, one more.
Oh, that's the first Gambit.
Nice.
Warpath, right? And then M again. Oof.
Literally coming to the home stretch here.
I mean, if they make me wait to the last one here.
That's just perfect for the content,
I know. They got to watch till the end. And okay. It always happens. Oh!
Go. Well, Andy Carrion.
Wow. Look at that.
Juggy coming right at you.
Oh, man. Shh. That's awesome. I don't know if I could trade it to you.
You know what's funny? So I was looking through because I knew, like, I know I have some Andys. Here's a little fun one for you.
Oh, wow. So you did another Juggernaut.
Winsies. Yeah, I think a lot of them. So Andy, I have the list over here. Let's see how many Andy did. Andy did, that's my last name. It is 150 cards, 148. So, yeah, I assume at some point you got to do a couple of dupes.
Yeah.
That's a great angle on that one, though. Just a great expression.
Yeah, and the shading, muscle tone. I think we're still owed one more. Are we owed one more? No. Because we got our three 8s, our 2 12s, and our 24. So it's going to be all base cards from here on out. Another checklist.
And I think a lot of times, either once you hit the sketch or once you get all those cards, that's where a lot of those sort of loose packs end up. And that is sometimes the only risk with buying those boxes of 24.
Right.
You know, in theory, if you open enough boxes, you could have stopped there and you've got, 3 or 4 packs that there's absolutely nothing in. So.
Right. And then add those 3 or 4 packs together over a couple boxes, and boom, you've got a...
Yeah, but even if you sell them at $2 a pop, $50 for the options to pretty much fill a base set, it's not terrible.
All right.
Nice.
So we will review the 3 villains we got were Apocalypse, Magneto, and Juggernaut. Goes perfectly with our Juggernaut sketch. And what's the name?
Andy Carrion, Carrion.
Carrion. Andy Carrion, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he still does cards, right?
He does.
Okay. I know I've seen the name. I don't have any. It's my first. And then this is going to be the legendary. And then the covers.
Yeah, I know the legendary is rare, but I think the covers are my favorite of the subsets.
Yeah, so this is First Class 15, Astonishing 7. And that is the box.
Not too shabby at all.
So, a typical box, right? Like they were consistent with the inserts and the odds, right? Except for those hot boxes you saw. You didn't open one where you got shorted.
No, to my knowledge, I never had any issues on the sketches, and that's over probably about 15 cases. And to my knowledge, again, I am, after the first case or two, I was very much guilty of just opening the cards from the back until I got the sketch and just shoving them off to the side. So I can't guarantee all 15 cases were perfect collation, but what I remember, Rittenhouse always did a pretty good job.
So before we walk away from the set for the day, do you have anything from it you want to show off?
Good Lord. I mean, when it comes to this set, my favorites are probably some of the incentives, and specifically Andy Price. I think he did some great work. And my favorites that he did are just the weird ones. So, I mean, hopefully, let's see if the glare is a problem here. I could take it out of plastic. So this is an X-Cats he did.
Yeah.
Just a weird take, sort of similar to the whole Mojoverse and the X-Babies theme. You get Lockheed reading a Spider-Man comic.
Wow.
Just, again, a lot of just silly stuff.
Yeah.
And then let me find the one I want. So this is one of probably my two most interesting cards. So straightforward Rachel Summers on the front. But then if you look at the back, you'll see an ingredients list. And what he did is he mixed the ink with, so we did ballpoint pen, mustard, honey, ketchup, paprika, curry powder, blackberry preserves, and white agave. And he added a note, do not ink. But he actually mixed those into the colors on the card.
Wow.
So you have a partially edible card. And then he, I believe, put a lacquer on top of it, obviously, so it wouldn't, rot or anything.
I'd say that's a first, right?
I don't know that anyone else has done one quite like that, certainly. And then let's see. I would say my other rarest or favorite card. Sorry, I gotta do the alphabet in my head to figure out where the card's hiding. Oh, and there it is. So this is from Nicole Goff, and this is a card you can actually see in the hole.
Oh, wow.
See me through it. She actually cut the holes where his claws came through.
Wow.
To give it that 3D effect.
Clever.
Yeah, right. Let me move myself out of the way there.
That's so cool.
Yep. So they, and I like they were allowed to experiment back then. You could play around much more than you can these days. A lot of them had much more cartoony styles back then, where today the focus is on realism, which, I appreciate as a fan, but I'm also a fan of letting the artists have fun. And I think that balance of serious and fun really helps a set. And I think it's a shame these days that you don't see that too much. So if you're looking for that, a lot of these old Rittenhouse sets are definitely the way to go.
Oh, we lost our video.
Nope. My camera just did not want to cooperate there. There we go.
Okay. But so some closing remarks for the set. Fun box to open. You're going to get a sketch, guaranteed. There's some great sketches out there. Inserts, if you're just an insert person, and you want to buy some singles, they're priced reasonably on eBay and ComC. If you just want to open something relatively cheap and fun, check out those repacked boxes without the sketch. Those are going to have just base cards, and it's a great art on the base card set. And if there's anybody watching that is holding X Men Archives sketches that they want to trade, this is the guy to send them to. Going for that 10% market share. Eventually
we'll get there.
What are you at right now?
I don't necessarily want to admit that. Let's just say I'm not unreasonably far away. How about that?
All right, great. Well, Matt, I really thank you for coming on. One thing people don't know is you've been very helpful since I've come back into the hobby in the Facebook group with information and just chatting. So if anybody appreciates anything that I do, you're one of the people that are responsible for me being as complete a collector as I am right now with all your knowledge about sketches. So thank you.
Cool. No, hey, thank you for doing these videos. This really is just a golden age for content right now, and it's for someone like me who's been around for a long time. It's great to see all of this and see the passion you're bringing back to the hobby with these. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And everybody at home, you all have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Until then, you have a very happy collecting.